Welcome to the Pitcher Podcast, where the conversation is free. Okay, how about this? I'll say it, and then you say everything I'm saying, but a second later. Okay. So it's like really hard to get. Welcome to the Pitcher Podcast, where the conversation is free flow. Everything is on the house. And all we ask for in return is for you not to give us 1-star reviews. I'm Cody. And I'm Ian. And okay, so we've lost all of our viewers already. But today we're gonna be talking about
good old R&R,
which stands for
Rubies and Rabies.
Very good. Rest and relaxation, or rest and recovery, or what have you. So yeah, we thought it would be a good topic to talk about right now.
So, before we get into the meat, we will go into the culture corner. And this week, we're going to be talking about, surprisingly, podcasts. So, Cody, start us off.
Okay, so mine, I've talked about this before. Okay. Enough. Watch it, man.
Really tired, by the way.
Had it up to here with you. But I've talked about this before, but mine is not another D&D podcast. It's by HeadGum, which is the podcast network that has a lot of my favorite ones.
Jake and Amir.
It was founded by Jake and Amir, who I've talked about a ton. But it's D&D, but it's played by comedians, and it's really funny. They do 100 episode campaigns. So, which lasts like 2.5 years or so.
100 episodes?
Yeah, so you're like properly like emotionally invested in these campaigns. Like when
what, I thought D&D is like, you just do it in one day and that's it.
No, like campaigns can last like years.
What the frick?
Yeah.
That was so PC.
Yeah, what the frick?
What the frick?
Because you like level up, gain new weapons, gain new skill abilities. It's so cool. So you start out as like a level 1
How do you even keep up with everything?
I listen to it.
No, like, do they just, like, write everything down?
Yeah, you have character sheets and everything. Like, every level, you get new character sheets. It's like a proper investment thing. But anyways, they finished their first campaign, I want to say in, like, April or May or something of this year. And I genuinely, like, it's whenever you finish, like, a really good book series as a kid, you just, like...
You feel lost.
Yeah, you feel lost.
Like, and after a good TV show.
Yeah. You're just kind of like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what do I have now? But I was so, like, just so gutted. And genuinely, like, I cannot describe, like, the elation that you get when, like, in the campaign when you're in a battle or something and someone, like... It's called crit when you get, like, a really good attack and then you add all these bonuses on and stuff. So no spoilers, but in the end of their final episode, I was taking screenshots of audio stamps in which, like, really epic things happen. It's so funny. I don't want to
get spoilers, Ian, he got a 500 crit in the tavern.
Yeah.
He got the
You said you wanted to start playing D&D, so watch it. But yeah, anyways, that's my recommendation. I started listening to it when I was, like, really going through some shit earlier this year, and I wanted, like, a new thing to be, like, a like, marker of this time in my life when I was, like, going through some stuff, but also to, like, carry on with me. So anyways, that's...
When are you gonna start D&D?
When am I gonna start D&D? Hopefully sometime in the next, like, month or so. Yeah. Been talking to a friend here who is, like... who has experience being
a dungeon master
or a DM.
And look at all these acronyms.
Yeah. So anyways, maybe we'll hear more about a D&D campaign in the future. What about you?
So I'm recommending this podcast called Invisibilia. It's an NPR podcast. Shout out to Juliet for recommending it. Especially, I found, like, one of their episodes super interesting. The one that she sent me was about, like, not about echolocation, but it's talking about how ooh, trying to find my words. How expectations can affect, like, people, and especially for blind people. So then they were talking about I guess creating even more disability with people with disabilities based on expectations.
Right.
We expect them to not be able to do certain things, and we hold them back from doing so because it's dangerous, or we think it's dangerous, or we think they're unable to do it, and then that just creates more disability. And they brought up a study about this blind man who was able to do echolocation. He wasn't the first to do it, but he was one of the most publicized ones because he was like cycling blind.
What does that mean, cycling blind?
No, he's like blind and he was cycling.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Essentially, he just makes us. It's like what bats do.
Yeah.
Or like dolphins. He starts clicking, and then sound reverberates off his environment, and he can kind of have he can see without seeing. So that was pretty interesting, and I think it's good food for thought. The thing about how expectations affect a certain group of people or just people in general.
Yeah, for sure. Is it a long podcast or is it shorter one?
It's not that long. It's one picture podcast long.
One picture podcast long. That's such a range. It's 35 minutes to an hour and 10 minutes.
But yeah, it's really good. I think it's just a good way to start the day. Have something to just spark the brain. Get your brain juices flowing.
Yeah.
Flowing. Oh my god. Can't speak right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you came to my house and then full on straight walk to the couch and slept for a bit.
Man's a bit tired.
Yeah, it's Sunday morning here.
Sunday morning.
But yeah, good culture corner. I guess we'll jump into our next one, which is recent studies suggest, and it's just me this week, but I found a couple ones. Ian and I were prepping before this, and I was just making really funny faces and then doing weird laughs too.
Do you want to give us an example of your
maybe
weird
later,
laugh?
maybe later. Have to make it natural. We'll see if they notice. But I found a couple which I searched up on Google. Recent studies suggest naughty, and then I wanted to see if there's anything.
Such a naughty
So I have three, but don't look at my screen. I can see your
okay.
eyes prying at my screen.
Close my eyes.
Okay, so one of mine is, does red bring out your naughty side? The findings suggest that the assumptions about color red may not apply to anyone, but may not apply to everyone, and this could have implications for things like anti-smoking and safe sex campaigns. Anyways, it says, turns out the color red can evoke mischief in some of us.
Are you gonna ask me guess why? I think it's pretty it makes a lot of sense.
Go, you guess. Make up some if you were put on the spot, if you were in a dream and you were the scientist.
If I was a dream.
Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna talk anymore.
No, the scientist, whatever.
Okay. So if imagine it's a dream and you were put on the spot, asked to explain this in a press conference, how would you explain
I would say that red has the common associations with love and sensuality, and our brain somehow registers it that way based on, I guess, societal norms, and that triggers a part in our brain that makes us horny.
Nowhere in the study does it say horny, but
scientifically speaking, it does make you very horny.
Yeah, no, they did. The researchers did an experiment that showed 3 different colors on chat screens. Yeah. While callers were on hold for a counselor, and then they expected that the color red would reduce the number of prank chats. Because previous prank chats, silly chats, just typing nonsense and stuff, because previous studies apparently suggested that red was the opposite. Red was less naughty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but what does naughty even indicate in this article?
So they said prank chatting, just messaging your friends about
I thought naughty was
stuff.
Naughty.
Oh, that's where your mind is. Get your head out of the gutter.
Oh, oopsies.
But anyways, it says the color red can increase non-compliant behavior in people with sensation-seeking personality types. So, yeah, more willing to take physical, social, and financial risks for the sake of such experiences.
Financial risks?
Yeah, financial risks.
Michael wears a lot of red.
Oh, dude.
Jokes.
Apologize.
Jokes. Sorry, Michael.
Michael, don't get mad at me.
Not a roast.
You keep looking at my screen.
Okay. I barely looked. I glanced. My eyes are closed again.
Okay. This might be right up your alley, more so than the other one.
You're gonna let me guess, right?
Guess the study.
No, not the study.
Guess recent studies suggest that what?
That bears have toes.
Oh, okay.
Bear toes. Robert toes.
Anyways, a dirty mind is a sharper mind. Sexual thoughts boost memory, expert claims.
Why?
Interesting, right? It's because, or you want to guess?
Because sexual thoughts are very visceral and they're very physical.
Very good.
And then because of that, like, you're in touch with so many different senses that you can easily remember it. Like, if you just recall a certain sense, like maybe something that was auditory or something that was like olfactory, and you can just remember that and then associate it really well.
Yeah. It's because pretty much what you said.
Yo, damn! Psychologist over here.
Oh dear. Yeah, because sexual thoughts evoke emotion and attract interest, and the study is saying that like the technique was like essentially how like young schoolboys sometimes will make like really rude like rhymes or like abbreviations to remember things, but they also said that like the technique has been used by Greek and Roman politicians and debaters to like remember things too.
The Greek were pretty horny.
Yeah, no, they definitely
the
were.
Romans too.
And so yeah, but the funniest part is this is of course on like dailymail.co.uk and it's like the authority behind this is like not like a research institute or like a university or something. It says Grand Master of Memory. And Cook says rude and violent thoughts are more easy.
Who the hell is the Grand Master of Memory?
I'm going to scroll down and you'll see his photo.
It's just this like 20-year-old guy with like long locks. Like
they never explain what makes him a Grand Master of Memory too. They just call him Grand Master of Memory.
Maybe he has the best memory in the world. But
Maybe.
I don't know how that has to correlate with a good study.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, if you wanna read it for yourself, you can search it up. It's Daily Mail. Dirty Mind.
You have a third one, right?
I'm
not looking.
Yeah, this one is a bit boring actually. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. Being naughty or nice may...
Dude, why are these all about... Oh, yeah, you search
Google
recent
naughty.
search... Yeah.
I typed one. It was like, recent studies suggest sexual or something. It was all just like...
Sexual.
Yeah. It was all just like not very fun things. But being naughty or nice may boost willpower and physical endurance. It says moral actions may increase our capacity for willpower and physical endurance. Study participants who did good deeds or even just imagined themselves helping others were able better to perform a subsequent task of physical endurance, which I guess makes sense. Like
it's like positive versus negative mindset.
Yeah. So if you like are positive, and then if you like resist temptation or whatever, you're more willing to like resist like fatigue or something like that. So it's a bit boring for all of our other ones. All of our other ones were like, being naughty is good. It's good. Be more naughty. But then this one's just like, be nice, actually, not naughty. But anyways, those are my three recent studies.
Those are three very, very spicy studies. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Cody, for finding them.
We should make our own study and call ourselves the Grand Master of podcasting.
Grand Master of podcasting. We'll have like a proper like cane and like a robe and everything. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of disappointed. Like the photo was just some like guy. Like he wasn't dressed in it. He wasn't draped in anything. Like
yeah.
You can't be called the Grandmaster of whatever.
Yeah.
Just be wearing like a sweater and a shirt.
Yeah. He was wearing just a sweater and like a collared shirt.
He was hella lame.
Yeah. Anyway, should we do the next one?
Weekly catch up.
And you go first.
You go first. No, you go first. No, I talked so much, Cody. Okay, I'll go first. So essentially,
right as I'm about to talk, just to cut me off. Okay, go.
I started a new job this week. It's very funny because like that's not actually that funny. I don't know why I said that. Really, really funny. But like for my previous internship, I literally had like 3 days of holiday in the first 2 weeks that I started.
Mm-hmm. And because of the way public holidays.
Yeah, public holidays. And then this time, like I have like already a day off because of Typhoon 8.
Yeah,
it was like the most mild. Like non-typhoon.
In Hong Kong, if a typhoon or rain hits above a certain level, like they cancel school.
Then Zeus will come down.
Yeah. Carry on.
Okay.
I'm not gonna respond to that.
So yeah, I got a day off, but then I'm just like starting this job at a like creative like design consultancy agency, and I just find it like very interesting. Being like it's a good change of pace, I would say. Mm-hmm. Like something that's not as commercial or legal, because I've been like kind of rabbit holing myself into those industries. And I just think like branching out a bit and just trying different things out is pretty healthy for myself.
Of course.
I feel like there's so much out there to try, and I think this is my opportunity to do so. But at the same time, I don't think it's something that I'll be doing in the long term. I don't think it's too sustainable.
Yeah.
And I think still my passions lie elsewhere. So to the companies who I've applied, please let me in.
Please let me in.
This is my cry for help. Assessment center. I'll just do the assessment center. Please just let me in.
Yeah.
Give me a job.
It's totally like, we're so young. It's like the time of our life to like.
Yeah, but I feel so goddamn old. Like I've never like realized like when you say I'm like 22, that's like you're a quarter into your life.
Yeah. Quarter life crisis, baby.
A quarter.
Yeah. That's the new thing. Like people are calling it like a quarter life crisis, like mid-20s.
Like when you think about it, like maybe like life expectancy in Hong Kong is like 85 to 90 years. Like 85 as a number is not that big. Mm-hmm. Like I've had like 85 cookies in my life.
Yeah.
Like 85 is not substantial.
Yeah. I have this Google Chrome extension. It's so
Don't
depressing.
tell me it's a fucking life countdown.
Yeah.
What? Get that shit away.
So this is like
what the hell? This is so weird, bro. Get this Black Mirror stuff out of my face.
Okay. Just let me.
I'm actually gonna start having a mental breakdown.
Okay,
soon.
here, you don't have to look at it.
Cody, I'm hyperventilating.
Yeah. But it's it tells you the number of you can make it even into like the number of days that like statistically.
Okay, that's so messed up.
Like
dude.
you
that's
put
so
in like your health
up.
conditions and stuff. And,
oh no!
Statistically, the mean of like averaging how long people in your category last, and so mine is like 59 years, 10 days, 2 hours left.
Stop! That's so disgusting.
And so like. There's a grid, literally like a grid of circles, and some of them are transparent, and then some of them are filled out in blue, and each one is meant to be a month that you have left until you die. And look at the circles.
Oh
legitimately look at the circles.
Oh, dude, I don't want to see that. That shit is grim.
It's crazy. It's like pretty.
Yo, close this window. What is this depressing ass shit right here?
Anyways, it's meant to one of my like. People
live life to the fullest.
Kind of. Just like make every day count and stuff. But yeah.
But what's that called? Like, it's weird. Every day that you're counting, it's like, I mean, a day away from you dying.
Yeah.
But it's also like how much time, like how old you can see your like future sons or daughters.
Yeah.
So every year that you're taking off it is like another year that you won't be able to see them in your life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now that that's a nice
10 seconds of silence after that.
You just hear us just like mumbling and crying. But what else? What else can I say about my Black Light Ketchup? No, that's about it.
Tell them about your hours too. Your hours are kind of interesting.
My hours are really weird. It's like 10 till 7.
Yeah.
Which is very unorthodox.
Yeah.
But it's really nice. Like, it's weird. Like I've been like having this thought about like the differences between working in like this kind of a company and what I was in previously, and there's just like I guess my mentality has changed a bit. Like I went into this job thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be as busy as I was previously, and like when I wasn't, I just felt weird. Like why am I not that busy? Like should I be more busy?
Yeah.
But then I feel like it's such a different scene, it's such a different industry. Like I shouldn't be preoccupied about like the busyness of it all, like to feel productive or that I'm like doing something.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a total like interesting experience that you can have. Like we, I guess jumping into my weekly catch up, we.
I'm not done with mine.
Okay. I was just gonna segue in. But,
okay, segue in.
We had lunch on what was it? Friday. So like 2 days ago. And this is like in the middle of both of our work days, and I was used to seeing you in like very business clothes and stuff, but you wore like pants and like just a t-shirt and stuff, which I think is like a cool experience to work in, because I've never been in that environment where I'm like actually going into the office, not working from home, and can wear like not whatever I want, but like there's like greater liberty in what you want to wear, and just kind of like just what you show up to work in, which I think is cool.
And I also really like how, like, international my firm is as well. Super diverse, a lot of people to get to know, and it's very spicy, man. It's very spicy. Good banter as well.
Yeah.
I think having not fun, but just like somewhat healthy of a social work atmosphere goes a long way. Yeah. Especially if you have like a long day as well.
Yeah. No, totally. I feel like coworkers and like your work ecosystem and environment can totally like make or break a job.
If it's just like you go in, you work, you don't really talk or see anyone, and you just leave, it's just like it's kind of droning.
Yeah. And I think everyone has their own like utility function of what they are looking for. Like some people don't really care about their coworkers, and it's all more about like the financial compensation or like the satisfaction that they get out of work. But then some people like don't value those things as much and really want like a comfortable working environment with people that they like there.
Yeah, but I'm like a bit of both.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those, those kind of people that we know who have a lot of financial backing and
oh my god.
Wait, I'm not okay. No. It's not who like it's not a specific person.
Oh, okay,
it's like a type of person like in Hong Kong that like have like really rich families and they're always like. Their parents are probably like this big person in like a corporate field, and they're like, I just don't want to be part of the cogs. I don't want to be part of the like. I don't want to get spat out by the machine.
Yeah,
I want to do something creative. I want to do something better with my life. I'm like, no shit. Like
your parents are bankrolling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Trump thing. Like my dad gave me a small loan of $1 million when I was.
So I just want to go find
25.
myself and like go travel. Like everyone should do this. I'm like, not everyone can do this.
Only you can afford.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's very true. Anyways, my weekly catch up was just getting lunch with you on Friday, which was fun. We used to work really close to each other, like a block away from each other. But that was also when restaurants weren't super open. And it was like during our third wave, so we would just eat at like we would both have our packed lunches from home and like eat at a park outside. But we actually went to like a sit down restaurant this last Friday, which was nice. In like a different area of the city than we normally go to for lunch because you're working in a bit of a different district than before. So
very nice. Also, part of the weekly catch up, we have a new segment called Girlfriend Talk. Girlfriend Talk,
which we're not doing.
Just a minor comment. Like, I think during the week, it was nice to like. I mean, not even this week, but even like last week, it was nice to like bring Juliet around and meet like my friends and my circles. Like, I'm not gonna talk about just the meeting aspect, but like personally, I don't know why I always have like this mild, not anxiety, but this like nervousness when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm always like, oh, would they like her, or would she like them? And then like I always realize in the end of the day, like it always works out. Which I don't know if it's like for everyone, or maybe it's just this circumstance, but very pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think both of us also have like parents and like families and like friendship circles that aren't super rigid in like what they're looking for and like a potential life partner for their son or something.
I think we're in like friend circles and family circles that are very extroverted and very sociable. Like, I can't imagine bringing her to, like, a dinner and then, like, no one talks. And, like, she would, like, ask questions and it's only, like, one word yes or no answers. Yeah. And then we just kind of, like, sit there and just twiddle our thumbs.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you to all the friends and family out there. Shout out.
Yeah.
But give us a rating and a review, please.
A rating and a review. But then also, like, some people in those introverted friend circles or like family circles, like that's fine for them too. I just like get anxiety about those things though. Like awkward silences and stuff. But yeah,
that was the end of our new segment, Girlfriend Talk.
All right, Ian is gonna be pioneering
the pioneer.
But I guess we can jump into the meat of the episode.
The meaty meat.
Let us know if you like our new laughs, because we're only going to be doing these unless...
I feel kind of self-conscious about it, so please don't make fun of my new laugh.
Please don't at me, just give me positive encouragement about... It's our goofy laugh.
Our goofy laugh.
Rest and relaxation. You do it first. Or recovery.
So I don't really know why I suddenly thought about this topic, but I guess it's because I'm really tired today.
Yeah.
And I was just contemplating and thinking about, like, the importance of rest and relaxation, and like how much we place an emphasis on it, especially like a lot of people when they're young, they're like, oh, like there's no time for sleep. We got to be embracing the day and stuff like that. The grind, but also like living life to the fullest. Like sleeping is holding us back. But then at the same time, I'm like, is that true? Is this a healthy mentality to have?
Yeah.
Because yet again, you know, like the importance of that 7 hours, 8 hours is it's so vital to like good physical, mental, and emotional health. And I feel like it's true. Like when I just don't get enough sleep, I'm just like dead. I'm like exhausted physically. Like I can't think. I'm like slurring, and then like it's hard to put like thoughts together because I'm just like so tired, and all I can think is about how tired I am.
Yeah,
and it's so whiny.
Yeah,
and I hate being so whiny, but like I can't help but just keep saying to myself like I'm so tired.
Yeah,
and people are like, oh, if you just tell yourself you're not that tired, you won't be that tired. I'm like, bro, like mental power, it doesn't really circumvent like your physical state. Yeah, my mom loves to say this. Shout out to my mom. Whenever I'm like really hot, like there's this saying in Chinese where it's like, if you calm your heart, your body will automatically cool down. I'm like, it never works.
Which gets you more like
I'm like, I'm still so hot. And then like I sometimes get a bit cheeky. She's like, oh, it's really hot right now. I'm like, well, if you know cool your heart, then I guess you'll get cooler as well.
And what does she say?
And she's like, no, it doesn't work. And I'm like, exactly. Exactly.
Only in certain cases. It is funny because for like all of the platitude and bullshit that we talk about, like mental strength and like mental perseverance, like really all it takes is like one bad day when you're really tired to like break your mind. Like I don't care how strong your mind is, like if you haven't slept enough in like the preceding days, like your mind will like put you to sleep. Like you will be in like a meeting or like at work and like start drifting out or something too. So I've thought about that a lot. I just supplement it with caffeine.
What a healthy relationship with caffeine. It's legal drugs. Healthy. You know, like I was like talking to someone at work, and then they told me about this thing called legal highs. I didn't know that what legal highs were until that like a couple of days ago. And then apparently it's this thing in the UK where like you can legally buy these. I don't know if you smoke it or you take it or just whatever. You just administer these substances that are legal, but they get you like high. Like
interesting.
It's a psychoactive drug.
Yeah.
I just can't contemplate like why that would ever be a thing. But I thought it was just an interesting thing to bring up. It's more of a non-comment, but
yeah. What was the context of your work conversation?
I don't know. It was like about festivals, and then suddenly like one of the guys was talking about legal highs being sold in festivals. Oh, and we're like, bro, that's way before our time. Right. You can clearly see age just from the way he said that. Right.
I guess that would make sense though, like a safer alternative, because a lot of like these drugs being sold at festivals, you don't know, like,
or just them taking or like smuggling drugs.
Or like what has been like put into the substances to like make them cheaper, like to buy. You know what I mean? Or like, I guess
feel like that's a whole rabbit hole. It's like it ties into like legalization of just drugs in general. The Portugal case study and also the U.S. legalizing weed and all that stuff. But we shall not talk about that this week, or I don't think we will, unless we have a guest that really wants to talk about
unless we have a guest. I don't see us having a guest who wants to talk about the merits of drug legalization.
But essentially, do you think rest and recovery, your mentality towards it, has changed during your school days as opposed to now that you're like working? Like, do you feel like you place more of an emphasis on it or less so, or do you think it just hasn't changed at all?
Yeah, I think I'm just weaker now. Like, we were in a school. It's interesting because I think we went to a school environment that was like not the most competitive school environment, but it was also decently, like, it's in Hong Kong, which is like, you know, one of the top 3 cities in the world for like student performance or whatever. And we went to like an okay school in Hong Kong too. Like,
I think the competitive environment wasn't bred from the school, but it's more so within the social environment of especially our year group and maybe like a couple of year groups above and below.
Yeah, for sure. But also like in like the final 2 years of high school, like you'd be hard pressed in Hong Kong to find a student who was like not a bit stressed out over their work, whereas
like they're all stressed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're doing a different course.
Oh dear. But yeah, like I think that was just kind of like the ecosystem in which I said ecosystem like 3 times in this.
It's fine.
But, it's one of those corporate buzzwords. But that was kind of like a product of the environment that we were in, but also like I think we could just do it more often. Like our bodies were stronger back then, or we were younger, so we could bounce back quicker. But I was just thinking about my normal routine, and this is just the normal routine for like any middle schooler or high schooler. But like you wake up at 6 every morning, like
that is true.
I can't do that, or like 6:30 or 6. But for me, I'm like sweating a bit when I have to wake up at like 7:30 or like 7, you know?
I get like, so tired and so groggy now.
Like I would regularly wake up before the sun rose and like would be having breakfast and like going out of the house to catch my bus like as the sun was rising. That was just normalcy for like 17 or not 17, like 12 years or whatever. You know, like that's insane to me.
And then we have like 9 hours of school.
Yeah. Like relatively like high intensity, like hour long 30-minute break, hour long, and then like a 45-minute break, like and then you have to study after school, and you have to study on the weekends too. At least now with like working, like most of the times we don't have to work
on the weekends.
On the weekends or like in the evenings
too.
Like, school is such a grind. Now that I think about it.
I think it helps that school is also so fun. With the people at school.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, if our classes during IB wasn't that fun, like I would be even more stressed.
Yeah. Like our last 2 years of high school.
Yeah, our last 2 years of high school. So I think that is true. Like I always thought it was based on routine, but then even when I'm working, it is based on routine. But I still get so tired.
Yeah.
I think maybe the amount of mental processing is much greater when you're working because it's a lot of times constant like problem solving as opposed to like just sitting there and getting fed information.
Yeah, I guess.
The active passive contrast.
Yeah. I guess there's also the thing of like, actually no, I was gonna say there's the thing of like, as you start to get older and as we become more and more independent, like, you know, move out or like are not being supported by our parents, like there's the whole thing of like my livelihood depends on this work, so that kind of adds a stressor. You know, like if your boss gets frustrated at you, you start to wonder about a lot more than just like your job performance, you know. But
true.
I was also thinking that like that's kind of the same in school too.
That's kind of the same.
This is the worst episode. But that's kind of the same in school too. Like we were a lot of times told that like, you know, every test that you do or like every class that you do, like all factors into your predicted score that we send off to universities. And then what university you get in depends like will factor into like what jobs you get and blah 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 blah. It's like a whole big domino type of thing.
Yeah, they would tell you like if you don't do well, you're gonna fail twice.
one of our teachers in sports science told one of our other friends when he wasn't paying that. Actually, this is a fun segment to go into, but Ian and I were in the same sports science, like sports, exercise, and health science, as a lot of our friends in high school. And Ian and I, we've talked about this before, but would just get away with like a lot of mischief in this class. But one of our friends wasn't so lucky, and he just got chewed out at the end of class. Like, it was so bad because it was like the end of class, the bell rung, and the teacher didn't quite dismiss everyone yet, so people were still waiting around. So he should have been like, all right, everyone can go, and like have the name of this student, like, can you stay back? But like, he didn't dismiss everyone, so everyone was just standing up and still there, and he's like, the name of this one student, like, I've seen this time and time again, like, throughout all my years of teaching. Like, you are going to be back next year to retake this exam that you failed. And not only that, you're going to be back another time because you failed that retake too.
You're so bad you're going to have to retake
like,
twice. I already
who roasts a student that they're going to have to, like, fail their exam twice and retake it twice? And then Ian and I were just like, oh my gosh. Like, I physically couldn't keep standing in that. Like, I had to like tie my shoelace because I was just cringing so bad, and I
had to leave as soon as possible.
Yeah. That was bad. He was one of our good friends too. He was like kind of silent after that. He didn't fail it twice.
No, he didn't fail it twice.
He only retook it once.
so joke's on you.
Jokes
is on you.
But yeah, I think just like the grind was easier back then. But I think also like hindsight is like all in like rose tinted glasses too. Like I still remember being stressed out when I was, like 17 or 16, like in our last 2 years of high school. I just think that like it didn't take the same like toll on our bodies that maybe the same amount of stressors would.
I think it's like,
now.
as you said, there's just so many incorporating factors to think about when we're working now. Like it used to be just like everything's school, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Sorry, a call just came through, so it just immediately stopped the recording. But what were we talking about?
There's a lot of different factors that
go into working. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to carry on? You're in the middle of like some monologue.
I don't know. I think I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. No, that's fair. You were essentially just talking about like how there's
tell me what I was thinking about.
Okay. I don't know if you actually want me to or not, because you seem like you kind of do want me to. Yeah. Like you were talking about how there's like our livelihood and stuff that. Okay.
No. Okay. We're gonna have our first argument on the podcast.
Our livelihood and stuff that goes into it. But I would also say that like now I'm starting to feel pressure to like manage or like cultivate a life outside of work, which I definitely didn't feel like the pressure to when I was a kid, right? Because we were all like, our school environment was pretty much like our social environment too. But now we have like, like partners that aren't working in the same office building like as us, and we don't see like in all of our classes or breaks and lunch, and like our relationship with our parents, which wasn't such like a big thing that we felt like we had to like totally invest to when we were like 13, or like 16 years old. So I do feel a bit of pressure now to like cultivate the perfect like outside of work life. Or like bummed when like that doesn't happen. Which I do think is like a very acute difference between pressure that we faced when we were kids or like schoolboys and now.
Yeah, there it feels like you have to make so much more of an effort. Like it felt so effortless for so long.
Oh yeah.
That now that you have to kind of like finagle your way into creating yourself like new social circles or like new social environments. It's I would say that it's pretty hard.
Yeah, scheduling things like a week or 2 weeks in advance too, just to like make everyone's schedules line up and stuff.
And also, especially like if you join in and then people already have their circles, and you just don't want to be that guy who just like tries to squeeze yourself in. But
there's a lot more like social chess that you have to play now. Whereas when we were kids, things were so like uncomplicated.
Yeah, and stuff. You always have to like try to dip your toes and be like, ooh, oh no.
Yeah. Like, should I be talking less here? Should I be talking more here? Like,
see, having to think about that many things is just so much effort and so much stress, man.
Yeah.
Let's just go and live in a commune. It's gonna be like school all over again.
Yeah, a commune. I think it would be interesting to try out commune lifestyle.
No, I've seen so many movies where it just goes wrong.
Get indoctrinated. Called Jonestown or something.
Oh my god, please.
But yeah, I would also say like just curiosity, like what do you commonly do to like recharge or relax? Like what do you find yourself doing?
Just a few. No, I'm not gonna say some stupid shit. I don't want to say anything that's incriminating. Not that I will do it. Like I'm digging myself a hole. I'm digging myself a hole. I guess like to recharge.
Yeah.
I do I like exercising.
Yeah.
It sounds counterintuitive because exercising does make you tired, but a lot of times like I feel like breaking out a sweat does like revitalize myself. And also. What else to recharge? Caffeine, obviously. Not the most healthy thing, but it is a stimulant that I use. But something like music. I think music does have a contributing factor to my mood or the way I feel. Jazz.
Yeah.
Shout out to jazz.
I've been listening to a lot more at work.
Oh, you do like some jazz.
Yeah.
Cody's starting to like some jazz.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't really know.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd say like it's probably changed throughout like getting older, I guess. But my dad recently bought this video game for us that we used to play when we were kids, and then like our Xbox broke and then the actual disc broke, but he ordered it on Amazon, and this game is like 17 years old or like 18 years old. It's called Perfect Dark Zero. It never picked up much traction, but used to be an Xbox game called Perfect Dark, and then they made it into an Xbox 360 game called Perfect Dark Zero.
I've seen this.
Yeah, it never like went gangbusters and was like very well known, but I genuinely think it's like such a slept on game. And I played it so much when I was like in middle school and primary school with my dad until it broke. And so we've been like reconnecting and playing a ton of this. Like I texted him the other day. I was like, Perfect Dark Zero tonight? He's like, yeah.
Allow
and
it.
then my mom, like, now our living room is filled with like gunshot sounds and like kill streak and like stuff like that. My mom, like, who in the evenings would like send out emails and like the living room would be like her zen space, is like the other night she's like, like the first night she's like, oh, so like cool to see you guys like reconnected and stuff, but the other night she was like how long are you guys gonna like play this? You played it for like 3 hours already. Like we're almost done.
That's fun.
But yeah, we've been reconnecting with that. It's been super fun, and that's like what I genuinely look forward to after work on my days that I'm just going home after work. So
what else? Cool. Anything else that you see yourself doing in your regular routine?
Yeah, I take walks a lot, especially now that the weather in Hong Kong is getting super, super nice. It's cooling down, and it's not ever cold in Hong Kong the way that the UK or US gets, but it's like breezy and cool now.
Easy breezy.
And so I'll just find myself like walking and listening to music, and that's super cathartic for me. So yeah, and then also running. I've started running a bit less now that my schedule's a bit more packed, but I still do really like running and just unplugging and taking those like 30 or 40 minutes to like sweat it out. And I always visualize like if I'm stressed, like all that tension and stuff is like coming through as sweat, you know, and I'm
coming
like,
out of your pores.
Coming out of my pores. But yeah, that's me.
Well, that is very good. I think we're probably going to end it there. It's a bit of a mishmash kind of episode. We're all over the place, but I think it was pretty good. And follow us on Instagram at PicturePod. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We're going to be giving out shout-outs to everyone who rates and reviews us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and check us out on YouTube, Spotify as well. Also, DM us at picturepod@gmail.com with thoughts or suggestions.
Also, let us know if you like our goofy laugh.
No one's going to be hearing this at all. Like,
we've lost everyone.
Okay. We'll grab a picture with you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.